Have you ever noticed that some people seem more alive after life knocks them down? I mean, not immediately, not because it wasn't painful, but somehow they come out of the other side more curious, more willing to risk, more themselves. And I've been wondering recently, is that what resilience is?
Mm.
Or is it something else entirely? Today's conversation explores that question. If you've stepped away from drinking or the things that used to numb you, you know it changes your life. But it changes the people watching you too. You become quiet proof that something better is possible. On Sober Life Rocks, we talk with people who realize that their choice wasn't just personal, it was a platform, a chance to be a leader, to shorten somebody else's learning curve, to do something that really mattered. If you felt that pull, you're in the right place. Subscribe and stay with us. Today, I'm talking with Michelle Plante. Michelle has been sober since 2019. Congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
since then, she's become someone who has a habit of saying yes to things she's wildly unqualified for. From stand up comedy to acting to producing live events, she describes herself simply as someone who's following her curiosity to see where it leads. Michelle, welcome to the Sober Life Rocks podcast.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Margy. I'm so happy to be here. Love this.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. And it's actually Margy
Oh,
for
well,
all.
thank you so much for telling me.
No, it's good. It is for all good for all the guests as
Okay,
well.
I
And
appreciate it.
so we have a third person joining us. This is Finn.
Ben,
Finn is my new little puppy. And
so
so I may be a
sweet.
little distracted today, but we're going to see how he does as a podcast co host.
Okay, yes, let's have him up in
Okay.
front. He's so sweet.
Thank you. Michelle, I've kind of been thinking about something. There's people who spend their whole lives waiting to feel like they're ready. And then there's people who seem perfectly willing to look completely ridiculous. And you strike me as the second kind. So, how did you get there?
Oh man, I love this question. And I feel like I've always been pretty ridiculous. Like leading up to probably high school, I was always really silly, playing around, like doing just weird things and getting made fun of, whatever, still having a good group of friends. And then it was probably around college slash early adulthood where I noticed the less and less silliness. And I was
Mm.
like, oh, we can't be silly anymore. Like I had a corporate job, I had clients, I had to be really professional. And I think I just kind of thought that that's how it was. And in the past couple of years, I've just been okay with being silly again. And I'm really, really, really enjoying it. Do I like being laughed at? No, it still hurts for sure. But I have never felt more confident in putting myself out there, or at least confident to decide to put myself out there. I'm not saying it's easy by any means for me.
I'm so interested in this because I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. I had early messaging from my mom that, in order to compete in this man-ridden, man-driven world, she was a product of growing up where women's lib was just emerging as she came into her adulthood. Like we had to be
Mhm,
better than and make no mistakes and show up exactly perfect. And so I
mhm.
absorbed all those messages, and it's been really hard for me to kind of step into this authentic reality where, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Like, how did you even start with this phrase that you gave me of just trying things that you're wildly unqualified for? Like that seems terrifying to me.
I would love to share, and it's a simple answer that anyone can go do, which is why I'm excited to talk about it. Go take an improv class. Go take an improv class and pretend you're a spaghetti salesman and you're selling to elephants and you're responsible for moving furniture for the aliens down the street. Like you get to exist in a world that's not yours. And it just kind of like, the word unlocked is being used a lot right now, but like it just opened my eyes, the power of creativity and being present at the same time. So I started that a couple of years ago, and have just had my world be crazy ever since.
What was that movie where the guy had to say yes?
Oh, yes, man.
Uh-huh. It's
Yeah,
sort of like that, where you just say
truly.
yes and see what happens, right?
It's so interesting. I was actually thinking about that last night because it's interesting to have that mindset, which I would say I do right now. Plus, after you stop drinking, establishing and reestablishing all of your boundaries that had been crossed along the way. So it's like, yes, I want to say yes to everything, but also I've taught myself these beautiful boundaries where I'm okay with disappointing people, but I still want to do all the things. So it's been a beautiful balance of learning between the two.
So I want to ask something that again stems from my own like fears of somehow somebody's going to catch me.
Mm,
Um, what has being bad at something taught you about yourself?
I won't die.
Mm. You had this adorable Instagram post where you were playing the ukulele some TV
Oh,
show theme, and you're like, you're like, I'm bad at it. It's okay. And I thought, I would
yeah.
never. Tell me about that.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice. Did you know the TV show, by the way?
I didn't.
Okay, Doug. The TV show. And then have you played any instruments? I feel like you're a really good musician.
I'm a singer. Yeah, I've
Ah,
been
I
singing
knew
since I
it.
was a kid.
Beautiful. Um, I think that it appears that our work is so visible. A lot of people's work is very visible and produced and edited, and which is great. So fun. It allows people to create little moments every day. And they are also produced and edited. And so I would just hate for someone to wait to show and share until they're perfect or until they're good at it or until they feel ready. And ready isn't even a feeling, it's just a decision. And I've learned that it's just totally fine. I actually prefer it at this point. Like it's just okay.
I feel like this episode is more about unpacking me, but
Yeah,
I
let's do
I
it.
think I think I represent so many people who feel like I at least need to have some confidence that I can do something,
Okay. May I
which I know then
ask?
stops me from even trying the thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I now I'm curious because it's like, what does confidence imply success, or is it truly like a within yourself type of thing? I'm curious.
That's such a great question. And it's kind of where I was going with this with you as well. Is like, does confidence come from achievement or does it come from willingness? And I think my confidence is built in private before I'm willing to go public.
Mhm. Has it always been that way?
Hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. But I think also, I look at somebody like you and I think, you've been willing to be embarrassed by
Mhm.
showing up as less than perfect. Does confidence grow after a certain number of times of that vulnerability and not dying?
I confidence. I think the turnaround time decreases. Like I'm just for an example, like posting something on Instagram. It used to take like a very long time, like, ooh, and then like after posting it, it's a very long like moment of, oh, I messed that up. And now I think it's just that's smaller. And what I'm experiencing in this moment too is that with that turnaround time being decreased, it allows me more time to pursue things that light me up and give me energy. And I I get confidence from just doing things. Like I in my mind, I don't have to be good at it. I can just do it, and that's what gives me confidence.
Hmm. I want to rewind a little bit because I don't think someone wakes up one day willing to say yes to uncomfortable things. So, who was Michelle before sobriety? Like, not just the facts, but like, who were you?
People pleaser, party girl. I was okay with staying in the same corporate job for the whole my whole life. I didn't have dreams. I wasn't dreaming. I was kind of asleep. I was just cruising through life. I wasn't setting intentions. I wasn't creating relationships that excited me. And so I think this new way is like, I just never want to be back in that. I remember what that feels like so strongly that it's like, never again. We'll do the opposite every time.
And my guess is that drinking started as sort of, you know, partying and hanging out with friends. And when did it turn for you?
I mean, for the record, I grew up in Iowa, so that was pretty what we did. When did it turn? I I had a really, that time between Christmas and New Year's when no one knows like what day it is. I had just gotten very, very drunk several times in that period and done some things that I wasn't proud of, said some things that I was ashamed by. And on New Year's Day, I just like looked at myself in the mirror and said, I'm never drinking again. And I had said that thousands of times. And this time I was just like, I don't know, it just stuck. I knew zero people who didn't drink at the time. And I'm just really grateful for that because it didn't feel like it was a hard decision at the time. The hardest part was dealing with people's reactions and responses to that.
Tell me
What
about
about,
that.
I mean, just people were like, oh, just you're just doing dry January, right? Or are you pregnant? Or you're like, you're not gonna not drink forever. Like, can't you just have one? Like maybe you're just allergic. Like all of the things that in my mind, I hadn't prepared for the types of questions because I was just like, oh, decision made, moving on. And it was really challenging for me to navigate relationships and society for, frankly, after being sober, it just opened up my eyes a lot.
You know, that's something we talk a lot about on this podcast is the nature of our friendships. I like the phrase that alcohol is the currency of connection in today's society. And
Mhm.
when we stop drinking, what is that new currency?
Oh yeah.
So how
Oh
did you
yeah.
navigate that?
Oh gosh. This is so interesting to think about. I ended a relationship that I was in at the time because what we did when we were together was drink. And so we just didn't even have a way to communicate anymore. So that was the big thing. And then I later left my corporate job. I just had so much more insight into my own mind and my own desires that I was like, oh, I actually can make these big decisions. And I'll share, and I don't know if you've talked about this before here, but I started experimenting with psychedelics and plant medicine in search for that connection. And I got it. I mean, I definitely got it. I had some pretty beautiful experiences, and I had some pretty terrible, absolutely terrible experiences. And so coming out of that, it was just searching for connection. And now I feel that I've been able to not rely on that, on external connection. It's obviously still very important to me, but I have found through creativity and playing the ukulele like so bad that that makes me feel connected in a way that I hadn't before.
I love that so much. And I think that for me, the journey had to start with myself because I had really been drinking since middle school, high school. And
Yeah.
so by the time that I quit drinking, I had no idea who I was, not a clue.
Yeah.
And I had grown up learning how to be a chameleon
Yeah.
and learning how to fit in and put on the mask and like with all the different types of people. And so that was an easy thing for me to do,
Yeah.
but it was no longer enough.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. When I'm curious, when did you have the realization that you were being a chameleon, putting on a mask? Like, at what point did you recognize that?
Um, I mean, I think for me, about 3 weeks, I went to a treatment center to get sober, and about 3 weeks into that, I heard somebody who had come from outside the treatment center to give a talk about that empty hole inside, that he had all
Hmm.
the trappings of life, and yet he didn't have anything inside. And so
Mm,
for me, that was that moment of, oh, that was kind of the beginning of the journey. Um, but quite frankly, I didn't even know how to make friends.
mm,
And so I was really fortunate being in, at the time, AA. Some
mhm.
people hold up a mirror to me in some painful ways
Oh,
and
yeah.
say, like, we don't know who you are.
Mm.
And just sobbing and saying, I don't either.
It's such a scary slash strong breakthrough to have. I remember mine. I was in a car outside of my acupuncturist office, and I like had that thought. And this is maybe a controversial question, but do you think people can experience that? Who am I while still drinking?
I think that one can experience the question, but I
Hmm.
don't know whether or not somebody can actually discover the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. And so from that question, then you get to decide. And I think that that has been so liberating, but also just like fun. Like, oh, you can just do not whatever you want. But it's like, not I've been lied to, but oh my gosh, I get to create my life just the way I want it. Like, I can buy 15 of the same candle and put them on my desk. Like, that's what I want to do. And I didn't always feel that way. I definitely wanted to fit in growing up and at times still do.
Yeah. And you describe yourself as somebody who, you're following your curiosity. And I don't think we talk enough about curiosity as adults in the manner of um, just trying new things or seeing how we feel about certain things. Um, I started really about 10 years into my sobriety. I started really working on this whole idea of like working on my inner child
Mm,
and just learning to play. And the very word play had such anxiety producing connotations for me because it was
mhm,
associated with like I hadn't done enough work to earn play as a
mhm,
child. And so I
mhm.
really had to start with like, what is play?
Yeah.
And for me, being able to see things like, oh, when I go thrift shopping, that's play.
Mhm.
oh, when I'm out in my garden, like that's play.
Mhm.
Like I had associated play with like these childlike, finger painting or or things of dress up, things of that nature. So just even having redefinitions of words
Yes.
to be able to access that part of me that just experimented. I have a whole corner of my garage dedicated to all the arts and crafts that I started. Michael's made a fortune off of me at that
I love
phase.
it.
I was doing all of the things, just experimenting and playing in things that will never see the light of day, but I had so much fun just playing.
It's so fun. And I love inner child work. And it's so beautiful, so personal, so impactful. And it makes me think of when you're young and you like, one day you're taking karate, and the next you're a ballerina, and the next you're doing, I don't know, like whatever kids, just gymnastics. Like there's no, um, in my experience, there was no like, you have to be good at this in order to show up, or this is the decision that you're going to make for the rest of your life. Oh, does this fit into your brand or your personal identity? Like it was just, you just got to do it and have fun. And I'm really enjoying that right now. And if that's childlike, I'm fine with that. Like I'm totally fine with that.
So you used this phrase in your website. You said, I know what it feels like to be lit up by something and what
Mhm.
it feels like to ignore it. Talk to me about that.
Oh, I love ideas. I love receiving them. I love thinking about them. I love when you get one and it stays. Like you're like, "Oh, it won't go away." And I've had these ideas that really excite me. I've also had ideas like I'm like that's we don't need a movie theater just for dogs, you know? Like I don't know. Like maybe after meeting Finn, maybe. But I have you read Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic?
What was it?
Big Magic.
Mm-mm.
Elizabeth Gilbert, I think is her name. She's amazing.
She's the Eat, Pray, Love author.
Yes, yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. And it talks about ideas and creativity. And so I know what it feels like to have an idea and to ignore it. And it doesn't go away. And so often I have experienced in the creative space that people are like, oh, I have this idea, but I could never do that, or I could never do stand up, or I could never write a short story. I could never do that. And I'm like, yes, you could, sis. Yes, you could. And so my hope is just to decrease the time spent from I have this idea to actually executing it. Doesn't mean every idea needs like to go on Shark Tank or whatever. It can. That's fun. That I would like to do that at some point. But it's like, what do you want to bring to life?
Sorry, Finn just discovered a
Okay. Ding.
puppies will find everything.
What is that?
It's a little screw on the ground.
Oh no.
I
Good
know, right?
catch. Good catch. Yeah.
Okay, I want to pivot and talk about your stand-up comedy because stand-up comedy
Sure.
to me seems like uh the ultimate jumping out of an airplane moment where so many things can go wrong, but if you get it
Yeah, they
right, it's
do.
amazing.
Have you done it?
No,
Open mic? I'm
no.
coming to Seattle.
I'm a speaker
Um,
coach and I'm also a professional
oh,
speaker myself, but there I get to prepare and I get to be the one driving the narrative. So,
okay. Yes. So, Gage puppy.
yeah.
I I would love, is everything okay?
Yeah, I just need to pause for a second.
Okay.
Oof, I'll edit this moment. Oy.
Sweet puppy.
Yeah,
Finn, I
we
have a
got a little
story for
trouble.
you. Oh my gosh, I love him so much.
Okay,
Um,
stand-up comedy.
yes. So I would just love to share that one of the first men that I dated who was also sober, He just asked me such beautiful questions on like one of our dates that we went on, which was at a park, which I loved. Like it wasn't in a bar, and it was just the first time I had went on a date with a sober person, and I was like, "This is cool. Like I like this a lot." And he had asked a lot of questions that I hadn't really thought of yet. He was like farther along than me, and he had asked, this was in 2020. He had asked like, "What is your dream?" And I don't even know. I remember exactly where we were on the path and like how much in my head I was like, should I actually say this out loud? But as I was having that thought, it came out and I was like, I want to be a stand up comedian. And I never like actually thought I would pursue that. Like I liked it, but it was just one of those things where it's like, you know, what's your dream job or what's your dream car? Like it felt like that, but it did plant a seed. And so I just got a little curious, but I really didn't do it until a year ago. And it was a result of being on an improv team and some people doing stand up. And I love to write, writing is my favorite thing. And I just love this idea to come up to a microphone and share a little joke that I wrote and see if it makes people laugh. And I have found in the past year that using my voice is the most powerful thing I've never done. And stand up gives me the opportunity to keep doing that. And so I'm not attached to doing it forever. I love it. It's really fun. I've met some really cool people, but the skills that I'm learning along the way and the breakthroughs that I'm having along the way are like what I'm here for. Like what can create me the most eye-opening experience, frankly.
Okay, I'm just having this moment in time where I often ask people like when they were drinking, what were they trying to what was the story that they told themselves? And so many people say, oh, it made me, prettier, or it made me attract more girls, or it made me funnier, or it made me more brave. And all of those things, I think, are things that I think we would associate with the idea of getting up on stage and doing stand-up comedy. And yet here you are doing it sober. So what part of your sober journey has led you to this place where you are now doing this terrifying thing?
Yeah, that's insane. And I, first of all, I personally, I am just very grateful that I have explored this type of art while sober. It's and I don't know if I could have done it like any earlier, but I'm very confident in bars now. Like if someone's like, "Do you want something to drink?" In the past, I'd be like, "Oh, no." But now I'm just like, "I'm good." And now, I've gone to enough places where people know I'm a sober person, which is so funny. Um, but I think it just oh wow, what I think is that it's okay for me to be seen as who I am,
Mm.
just me. And maybe that wasn't the case before. I wanted to be a career or a partner or whatever
Mm.
else. Um, and so now it's just like being okay with just being me, which is all I've
Mm.
ever wanted.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Michelle, you lost your mom recently.
Yes, 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 yes. That happened in late May.
Mm.
Hmm.
I when I got sober, people talked about the no matter what's, that we don't
Hmm.
drink no matter what.
Oh.
And I picked as my very first sponsor somebody whose daughter had been killed by a drunk driver when she was less than 6 months sober.
Mm.
And she was able to stay sober through all the help that she received from all the women in the program. And I thought to myself, if she can make it through that, I want to learn from her.
Mm. Million percent.
But I have a dad who is aging, and
Mm.
is has been my best friend my whole life. And I
Yeah.
can't even fathom what that journey is going to look like.
It's wild. It is um, so beautiful. And I also feel like sharing, I haven't shared a lot about this, but a couple, maybe a year or two ago, I had kind of gotten very curious about hospice care and end of life support. And I went through training. I was a volunteer. I worked with patients who were at end of life. So I got, I don't want to say like comfortable, but I had access to what that looked and felt like, which helped me tremendously. It was still the worst time of my life with my mom. And she's the best, first of all. This is the picture of her. She went skydiving at for her 50th birthday. Sis
I love
just
it
went
already.
Sis just went skydiving for her 50th birthday. When she, okay, hold on. When she turned 73, she never learned how to swim, but she turned 73 and took private swimming lessons at the YMCA, went to Belize and went snorkeling in the Caribbean Sea just because she wanted to. Like she never stopped living. And I'm so grateful for this, like witnessing her, and I'm obviously very close to her. And um we had some of the most beautiful and magical moments leading up to when she transitioned or passed away. And I think about her every second. And there is absolutely like nothing more painful than grieving someone completely open and sober. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you for
Hmm.
sharing that.
Yeah.
And we know from research that unprocessed feelings end up in our body.
Period.
And so I remember, again, early on my sobriety, people talking about, like, oh, I'm sitting in my feelings. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ew, why? That
Yeah.
sounds horrible. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Million.
and yet, today, I've walked through myself some really, really painful things where just the minute I wake up, it's painful, to the minute I go to bed, it's painful.
Hmm.
And one hour at a time.
Minute.
Hmm.
Yeah. A minute, especially in the first few days. But one of my friends, I had a bunch of friends come to her service, which was amazing. We all went out. We went to a bar. Some people drank, some people didn't. But my friend had sent me a really beautiful text message that was just like, I am just in awe of how you haven't even like smoked a cigarette. Like you haven't even done that. Like you haven't even had one drink. And there was never really a time where I was like, I think I might drink or anything like that. That wasn't a thought. I had the thought, if I do drink, I will just start over. Like I was trying to prepare myself for the deepest pain of my life. And I also knew that alcohol would like not help. And I was really, uh, I really wanted to experience it, and I still am to its greatest depth. Like, this is a once in a lifetime experience. This is a profound experience. And I wanted to be all the way there for that. I mean, I didn't shower for days and I cried every morning, but like, I am just really happy to be experiencing it in the way that I am, which isn't good or bad. I'm just like, this is happening and I can't believe it some days.
I love the story that you just told me about your mom and her jumping out of an airplane and learning how to swim. Does grieving your mom and remembering and celebrating your mom
Hmm.
change the nature of what you think you're willing to say yes to?
Oh, Ooh, yeah, yes, because, uh, well, the worst thing in my life has already happened. Like that is already done. And I just feel more courageous. I ask regularly to be more like her in my own way. So I feel like I'm becoming more me while still honoring her.
Hmm,
And it's going to take a lifetime of doing that, but that's what I'm signed up for right now.
that's beautiful.
Thank you.
And I think that a story that people often tell themselves um, when they're drinking is that they're going to lose everything if they stop drinking, that they're going to lose their friends or they're going to lose who they're known as, or
Mhm.
maybe part of their job is to take people out and wine them and dine them, and they're going to risk that persona. Like, if anyone is listening who is afraid that sobriety, or really quite frankly, any big life change is going to make their life smaller, what would you want them to know?
I understand the the hesitancy for any sort of change and in any behavior. And there's only one way to find out, and it's worth it. In my experience and in my opinion, you didn't come here to feel comfortable, to stay small. I want you to go after what you want, even if you fail along the way. And I want you to be able to look back and be like, I'm so glad I tried that. You're on mute.
What's one thing that you are wildly unqualified for that is on your list?
Yeah, you brought up ukulele, so that there's one. Um, well, I am starting to book acting opportunities, and I have had an idea for a short film for a couple of maybe a year now. And I just met with a director, a filmmaker yesterday, and we did some location scouting. And so we have that planned for early August to shoot it. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Oh, I'm just like, but this is why I love being sober because like I have the energy. It's like, oh, I have this idea. Like, do I actually want to do it or not? And so I've been ignoring that for about a year, but it won't go away. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. Like it doesn't mean I have to, it doesn't mean anything. I'm just playing. And I'm also taking it seriously because it's a creation and that's fun. It's so fun to create. So that's my next thing, whatever. I'm sorry I'm laughing. It's just crazy to say.
It's amazing. Tell me about the work
Um,
that you do today.
yes, I love. So I worked previously for a Fortune 500 company. I help people with getting creative and getting visible with their gifts because I feel so often we are in jobs where at the end of the day, we don't even have energy to make something of our own. So I love working with people to get them to a place where they can prioritize projects and help them strategize like what does success look like, but also blending it in the creative space. So I've had a lot of fun doing that. And I also shared, I started producing a live storytelling show called This Might Hurt a Little. So I have one of those at the end of the month, and then we're starting another one in Iowa, in Dubuque, Iowa, and that will be in August. So that is one of my babies that I'm trying to grow right now that I'm really, 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 really excited about.
That's so fun. So,
Thank you.
who would be the perfect person to reach out to you and how would they do so?
Oh, yes. I love Instagram at Michelle Plant Comedy. Someone who has something on their heart and is like, I have no idea if I can do this or not. But I want to do it. And it means a lot to me. It's something that I want to bring into this world. Or maybe someone who's just like, I am feeling stuck. Like, is this all there is? Am I missing something? I have everything I want, but I wake up with like racing thoughts or I'm not really sleeping. And my belief, my personal belief is that once we start creating, we start to feel more connected. And I want people to feel that way. I think that's what makes our world a better place.
That's awesome. Michelle,
Thank
one of the
you.
things that I've loved about this conversation is counter to my own messaging. It's not about building a perfect life, it's about um, the power of building an honest one,
Mhm.
like one experiment at a time, one uncomfortable step at a time, one unexpected opportunity at a time. And maybe that's what curiosity really is about, is not having all the answers, but just trusting yourself enough to take that first step and then that next step and then that next step before you feel completely ready. And I
Mm.
and I wonder, like, how many of us are waiting for confidence when what we're really waiting for is our own internal permission. So I'd love to hear from you who are listening to this. What's one thing that you've been quietly curious about or has been bubbling up, but you haven't said yes to yet? Maybe it's taking a foreign language class, or maybe it's, I don't know, starting a side hustle, or trying improv, or traveling somewhere new, or I don't know, having that conversation that you've been needing to have and just haven't done yet. Or maybe it's ordering a non-alcoholic option instead of the wine and seeing what happens. Share it with us in the comments, because one of the things that we're discovering together at Sober Life Rocks is that some of the most meaningful lives aren't built by having everything figured out. They're built by what happens when we flip the script and just try something different. And who knows? I mean, maybe your answer might be exactly the encouragement somebody else needs to take their own first step. So, Michelle, thank you. Thank you for being the exemplary example of somebody who just plays and has that curiosity and is willing to have a little giggle at your own expense, but also to follow these passions and see where they lead. I've really loved this conversation so much.
Likewise, Margy. Thank you so much for having me. This is amazing. I love what you're doing.
Yeah. And if today's conversation resonated with you, please share it with somebody who's standing at the edge of something new. And if you're learning that life can become bigger, not smaller, when you say yes to what lights you up, you are in the right place. Make sure that you're subscribed to Sober Life Rocks on whatever platform you listen to. And remember, it doesn't matter what's in your cup. What matters is having the courage to build a life that you don't want to miss. Thank you.